Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast, episode 267. And I just checked, and it's actually 45th video update. So it's a 45th time when you can see my beautiful face. Not. But yeah, just to summarize quickly, I created this project to help myself in creating some form of routine or habit to go with every single day. And I managed, since my life was full of procrastination, and I hope to help others by recording and documenting my journey with all the struggles and happy moments or achievements slash wins, so anyone can uh, get value from it, if any at all. It started on 19th of September, and it goes until now. Every single day there is a blog post and a podcast episode. It used to be just an audio podcast, but since about, I would say, day 200 and something, I don't remember exactly, I need to check that up. That's a good note for later. I started recording regular video content, and video podcast episode is automatically extracted with audio on Spotify for those who just listen Spotify. But also on Spotify you can watch video episode, or you can head on to YouTube and watch there. We have a couple of social channels, so you can check them up in the blog post. They are at the top of the post. You can check Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, as far as I remember. Oh, and Twitter. So this is about the, I would say, intro. Today I will tell you a little bit about this dark and boring day. So if you are a person that only looks for the excitement, then unfortunately this, I would say, this podcast is not for you. It's about life, and depending on what type of life you have, but I suspect that nobody has a life that is exciting every single minute, every single hour, or every single day even. So I'm one of those people that have privilege of living in fairly, I would say, civilized country, and have access to many amenities, have fairly decent wages. So I speak from the position of a person that understands its position. Okay, that sound was something that shouldn't be there, but I will not cut it off, because this blog and podcast is supposed to be genuine and authentic, and if there's no valid reason to edit the video, I'll record it and publish it in full, which you can see. So yeah, as I say, I understand that even though I worked for what I have, I am still in a fairly privileged position, albeit I'm not a wealthy person or a very kind of high achiever. Most of my life was about procrastination and reactiveness, and that blog and podcast is about changing it. And as you can see, I started 267 days ago, and I suspect that there is way, way more to come before my life will be structured in a way that is beneficial, more beneficial than it was for almost 4 decades before. So today is, as you can see, I mentioned already, it's quite dark, and apologies for that. That graininess of the video is caused by the camera. Camera is not the best, but it's very handy to record it and straight away upload it to, from the Mac to, web version of Spotify and YouTube. So unless I will figure out something that will help me quickly transfer from GoPro or other camera, I will be recording with this. Usually it's not a problem, because there's enough light in the room to to get decent quality. But today, exactly, weather shifted in Ireland. How surprising. So there's that joke about Irish weather that we have only summer for 2 weeks per year. So anytime in Ireland sun comes out around late spring or early summer, people start rushing to get used to get as much of that sun as possible because it will be short-lived. Of course, it's not true. Um, Technically, we have a lot of sunny days even in winter. Uh, there is a lot of dry days during the year. Of course, it depends on which part of Ireland you are. Even though it's a small country, fairly small island, depending where you are more or less exposed to um, different masses of air. We have a lot of exposure for storms and hurricanes coming from the U.S., from the you know Florida region. Of course, they don't reach Ireland directly, but because they go into Atlantic Ocean and disperse there, their impact is huge, and any movement or pushes of the air masses they produce are impacting Irish coast, especially on the west side, and especially on the southwest, where the Kerry region is. We are fortunate to live in Donegal County, which is northwest corner of Ireland. We are still sometimes battered with winds and rains, but in general, it's a very nice, scenic and clean area, full of fresh air and nice places to go. And the weather is also quite cool, and temperatures are mild. So, not the best place for people that really like warm areas, but also a great area for those that don't like cold areas and would like to migrate somewhere where it's bearable. They don't mind maybe a little bit of chill, but not on the freezing side. Then Ireland is perfect. Yeah, so yet it was quite a streak of dry and scorching sun days for the last week or two. It's still quite humid, and it was hard to breathe this morning, but it was very sunny. We managed to get a walk with my wife. It was probably about 4.5 kilometers to the bay and back. The views were amazing. It was probably in the middle of the tide. Not sure if it was the tide that was going towards low or high tide, but it was sort of in the middle by the look of it. And yeah, the weather was great, but also that humidity and the air was almost sitting and static. There was barely any breeze coming out of the ocean, so after 1 or 2 kilometers of walking, we were sweating and we were barely having one layer on ourselves. So you can imagine the temperatures that were here, because at the moment I can tell you that in about, I would say, half an hour, the weather shifted completely. We have full cloud cover. It's raining for probably about half an hour already. So the weather completely changed. I'm not sure how, if the temperature cooled down already, because rain should cool it down a little bit. So I hope that it will cool down a little bit. I don't mind rain because I want to go for a run, and I can get wet. I don't mind. It's just about the temperature, so I'm not scorched by the sun. It's actually more dangerous to run in the sun than in the rain, in my opinion. So I prefer rain. It's not windy at all, so I suspect it will be a very pleasant run. I would probably even go to the beach and try to run barefoot I'll see if I will get enough time, and maybe I can influence my wife to go to the beach. But I'm not sure if she'll be happy to do it, because she already had her daily training, the weight training and resistance training, and then we did that walk, so it's probably enough for her for today. But I have still that, thirst or hunger of getting on the run, especially that you can see my beautiful t-shirt. That's from the last month. It was 100k in May for Laura Lynn Children's Hospice, and this month of June I'm doing the same, but it's 100k in 30 days for breast cancer awareness and prevention programs to support the research and all the efforts and taking care of the women that are unfortunate to develop the breast cancer. And we call ourselves Pink Army, those people that support it. Not very pink at the moment, albeit I have that little, girl picture with some pink, but in general, the pink t-shirt is the symbol of the breast cancer, like the pink ribbon. So I already managed, it started on the 1st of June, we have 12th of June, and I already managed about, I would say almost 89 kilometers. So I'm hoping to get easy to 200 this month to make that impact and awareness, because the more we do, the more people actually can see it. And sometimes some people think that all those runs and maybe those cyclings or marathons, they make no difference. What's the point? They do difference, because when the masses gather, they get the sponsors. So that's not only a huge impact in terms of funding, but the more people are visible in the specific color, they bring attention of the general public and curiosity. What is it about? And even if the person will meet you on the street and will check or read what you have on the t-shirt, even if they won't support the case directly, they already learned something, that there is such an event, that there is a problem with breast cancer that is widespread. Maybe they were never impacted by that and live in the vacuum of being healthy all the time and not meeting people that struggle with health. So we open eyes to people that potentially might support the cause in the future, or might spread the word, and thus the others that will hear from them will support that case. So yeah, it is important. That's why I participate that second year in a row. The first year I did because we moved to Donegal last year, end of May, and June was quite busy. I managed only to do about 85 kilometers in 30 days. So it is important for me this year to not only make up for the last year, but to prove that, yeah, in 30 days you can do a lot, even not straining yourself too much. I'm not a runner. I'm not, any David Goggins, or if you know David Goggins, or any of those kind of big influencers that are really hardcore guys, or ex-Navy SEALs, or whoever else. I don't do big things yet. I hope to do some in the future, but but I want to take care of my health and at the same time do something good. And I have a fundraiser that I will link in the blog post. If you want to chip in, even if it's 50 cents or €2 or €10, whatever you wish, feel free to use the link and pop it in. I don't expect to fundraise the amount that I set for that, but whatever goes into my fundraiser, which is small at the moment, it collectively goes into the bigger pot and it makes huge impact because there's a lot of sponsors, a lot of people participating, and it goes in millions in terms of collected money and going to those research and facilities that help women to be cared about in different stages of cancer and either being cured or, in unfortunate cases, at least being taken care of in uh, facilities or amenities where that stage 4 maybe is the last weeks or months of their lives. So yeah, if you feel like you can, you please do support. If you don't care, uh, it's fine with me. I don't judge people. Some people just don't care, and it's their decision. If you do care but you can't support, I completely understand. There's no push. And also, if you do care and you don't want to support, it's also understandable. I am fully aware that there are different kind of people. You might be supporting something else, or you might not have enough trust in foundations or things like that, and not support any at all. And I think I am partially one of those people. I chip in from time to time to different things, but only if I trust to a certain level that this money is used at least in majority towards the cause. Enough about that. I don't think I will have much to update for you today, except for on Thursday, Julian is going for a school trip, so I'm thinking about taking a break, so kind of taking a half day or maybe the full day off work, and use that opportunity to very early morning when I drop Julian for the school bus, I will go for Silver Hill. So Silver Hill is a very interesting peak that I kind of was looking for quite a while now, and it's not far from me. It's part of the BlueStack Mountains. It's 600 something, I think 600 or maybe just above 600 of height, but it has neighboring peaks which I might also pick on my route and hike them in the middle of the week, which I didn't do any hikes in the middle of the week for quite a while. So stay tuned. I will be updating you as we go. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and I hope to see you again. See you tomorrow.